Welcome back to MBOX Frustrated User Guide. Now we have a saying in my family, if you don't know what you're looking for, you're never going to find it. Well, I've bought my first media box back in 2016, so that was almost 10 years ago, and I definitely know what I'm looking for. Now the first thing I want is a visible front panel clock. So the camera might actually be able to see and reproduce the clock that's on the front panel of this H96 Max TV box. But I'm going to tell you, I can't see it. I'm sitting back. I'm going to run my tape measure. Running my tape measure out to the box. I'm sitting about 5 feet back from that box. So that's 60 inches. I'm only 5 feet away. I have 20/20 vision with glasses. I cannot read that clock from here. And despite the fact that the camera might be able to see it, I can't see it. So to me, that's a fail. I want a box with a clock on the front that I can actually see, because all I see there is an ugly blue blob. Big fail for me. Now let's zoom in. We're going to be reviewing a different box today. All right, now before we get into that new box, we need to set some benchmarks. So on this setup, let's check my Wi-Fi speed using my G20 Air mouse. You can see that it works pretty well. Mine does anyways. Okay, click go. All right, this is my 5G wireless internet. So at this location, I'm showing about 230 megabits per second down. Should be a little around 11 megabits up. All right, so you're seeing it right up here. That's our benchmark. 230 down, 11 up. Okay, now I'm going to connect by wire. Okay, you can see that I have a yellow Ethernet cable connected. So we're going to make sure that wireless is disconnected. I'll go to settings. Shows you right here, Ethernet is connected. I'm going to turn off Wi-Fi too. So we're strictly on the wire now. All right, let's go back and see what we get by wire. This is what we had before on the 5G wireless. 230 down, 11 up. Okay. Okay, by wire we're banging close to half a gigabyte here. So that's our benchmark. Connected by wire, we have gigabit networking, and at this location, I'm getting 486 down, 11 up. Okay, now I'm going to take this box out, and we'll make these same tests with the new box. But before I do that, two other things I want to show. I'm using a G20. This is an old G20. Probably had this for 3 or 4 years. Notice that mouse pointer stays still unless I move it. It's very accurate. Unless I move it, that mouse pointer is nice and still. Additionally, I'm switching now to my TV remote. TV remote doesn't have a mouse, but the TV remote does control the box. So I can push these buttons and you can see that it's changing. And I can launch apps from here. I'll launch speed test again. There's no problem getting CEC to work. CEC stands for Consumer Electronics Control. TV remote controls the box. Okay, let's hook up the new box and see what happens. Okay, so our first three requirements. We want a clock that's visible from lean back distance. In this case, it's about 5 feet. We want a clock that keeps time, of course. That would be number 2. Number 3, we want gigabit wired networking. And number 4, we want reasonably fast wireless networking. So this is the new box we're going to be testing. $40 on Amazon. And the first thing, even before I hook this up, the first thing we're going to do
the high-definition multimedia cable
is test that came with it. Because we want the TV remote to control the box. And for that to work, this has to be a properly wired cable. Now, every TV box I've ever bought, I've bought over a dozen of them, paid for it with my own money. Every other TV box I've ever tested that other people paid for with their own money, in every case, that would be every single case without exception, they were shipped with defective HDMI cables, and those cables cause nothing but trouble. So I'm going to turn this on and we'll see how this cable checks out. This is the one that came with the new box. See the red light? And see this? Not lit. Not lit. Try again. Line 2, not lit. This line, not lit. Not lit. This line, not lit. So we have a total of 4 lines out. 2, 5, 8, and 11. I'm not even going to use this cable. Kind of pointless. I want things to work. So I'm going to have to put in a known good cable. Let's test that one. It took me years to figure out what was going on with these things. Here's a test. Look, all the lights are lit. Here's a good cable. The cable is not, as long as I'm connected by this cable, if something doesn't work, it's not going to be the cable that's responsible. So this is the cable I'm going to use. That should not be the case. I want a box that ships with a properly wired cable, not with a defective cable. So the new box already fails on this want. Cable's defective. So we use this one though, because I want the box to work. Okay, so I've got the X88 connected, and while the front panel clock looks a little brighter than the other, I can't read it from here. Just can't. Camera might be getting it, I don't know. Let's zoom in on it. So that's going to be a fail. Now regarding the actual time, it says 4:20, so we're going to have to set that. Okay. Device preferences. date and time. So automatic date and time is fine. You can see that it thinks it's March the 10th, 2025. That's correct. Time is wrong. Let's set our time zone. Now here's the strange thing. The list of time zones. This is a Chinese TV box. No such thing as alphabetical order in the Chinese language, so I've read, so I'm told. And you'll notice, even though this is in English, the list is not alphabetically sorted. So I'm in the Eastern time zone. Where is it? Starts with midway. Goes from M to H to A, back to M to P. This is crazy. I think it was Saint Thomas Aquinas that told us, when in Rome, do as the Romans do. You're selling this to an English-speaking country where we do use alphabetical order? For crying out loud, alphabetize this list. But okay, we'll go hunting for it. Wait a minute, Eastern Daylight. We'll use that. Okay. $12:22, so it's 22 minutes afternoon. That's about right. All right, now the next thing. I'm looking at this launcher. I find it way too bright. And if you look at the words Media Center on that tile that's selected right now, don't know what the camera's seeing, but I'm telling you that the word Media Center is very difficult to read. That's a function of this launcher. I'm not sure what they've done here. Not the most eye-friendly. All right, now we can see up top here, right next to the clock, where it says 12:22, 12:23, that we're connected by wire. If you look, you'll see I've connected the network wire, the yellow wire, to the new box. So we're going to have to download speed test. And for that, they've given us two versions of Aptoid. So we'll use this one. I'm using the remote that came with the box. So there's no voice control on this remote. Now normally I would just speak speed test. Click the mic icon, but this doesn't have voice control. So we're going to have to type it. And so this playlist is called Frustrated User Guide, and this to me is insane. It's 2025. Speak to your devices. Have they not ever heard of this? They're selling a device with a remote that doesn't have a microphone built in. And somehow we have a period there that we don't want. And this is why people can't use their boxes, because they make it unnecessarily difficult. This should have taken a couple of seconds. Okay, let's go. And we want speed test by, I'm not sure how you pronounce it, OOKLA. I don't trust some of these others. Most ISPs use the OOKLA speed tester. So I guess we'll have to go back. Yeah, a job that should take 2 seconds takes minutes. There it is. Okay, open. All right, let's try again. Yep. Okay. Well, that's not working, so we'll quit this. And it doesn't want to work. Well, 15 minutes later, I'm finally ready to make a speed test. Now, this is on the wire. Our benchmark before was close to 0.5 gigabyte. Now, that's the slowest service that our internet service provider offers. We have Charter Spectrum. Most people, I would say, pay for gigabit networking. It's 2025 after all. You can't get anything slower than 0.5 gig, and we hit that on the other box, proving that it has gigabit networking. But look at what we're getting here. Download 93 megabits per second. So this does not have gigabit networking. It has 10100. Don't want 10100. I want gigabit networking. This is another fail. Slow networking. Well, okay. Let's now see what the wireless does. So we'll get out of here. Now I'm pretty sure we're going to have to disconnect that wire because in my experience, if the wire is connected, you can't run both, and you can't even connect to wireless. But we'll see. Will this work? Can I click on this? Okay, Wi-Fi is on. Here's the 5G. I'm going to take a few minutes to enter this password. Turn the mouse off here. I don't know how people put up with this kind of a mouse, with this kind of a remote. I can't understand it. Okay, that only took a few minutes. Should have taken seconds. Now, I'm pretty sure this will not connect, even though I know I entered the right password. And the reason this is not working is that we have the wire connected. So we'll let this fail. They don't tell you this in the owner's manual, but I know that's going to be the case. I'll disconnect the Ethernet cable, and then we'll be able to connect by wireless. Easy enough to do when you know that's the problem. Not easily done when you don't know, especially when they don't tell you. So see, couldn't find it. Okay. Found it well enough to let me into the password. Let me go disconnect that cable. Okay. Okay, network cable is disconnected. Let's try again. Oh, they want me to put it in again. Wonderful. Okay, try number 2. Well, 15 minutes later, struggling with this, I finally switched to the G20 air mouse that my neighbor bought. Now, pay attention to that pointer. I am not moving this mouse. I've set it there. I'm not moving the remote. And that's the problem. G20 Air Mouse remote that should be working perfectly. What happens is the mouse pointer will not stay still. So it's very, very difficult to hit your target. And even when you do, it moves off the target all by itself. Who thought this was a good idea? Unbelievable. Just unbelievably frustrating. So let's look at where we are so far. We have a clock that we can't see from 5 feet away. We have 10100 old style networking, even though everybody's paying for gigabit. We don't have it here because the box can't do gigabit networking. We have an unbelievably pathetic, poor remote that comes with the box. By the way, see these buttons here? These buttons on the top, these are supposed to be TV control buttons. You're supposed to be able to program these buttons to control the volume on your TV and on-off on your TV. There are absolutely no instructions on how to program these buttons to work your TV. Now, I've done this before on other boxes, and they don't work. Even when you have supposed instructions, they don't work. And when you take the remote apart, the chip that's supposed to support these functions is not present inside the remote control. There's no such chip on the circuit board. Whether or not these buttons will work, I don't know. They certainly don't give you the procedure, so I'm guessing they just don't work. Lousy remote. Upgraded to the G20 Air Mouse remote. Pointer will not stay still. No matter where you point it, it moves all by itself. Talk about frustrated user guide. This is so frustrating. So frustrating. Okay, speed test. Try again. You can't hit the target because the pointer won't stay there. Can you believe that somewhere there's a product manager that thought this was a good idea? Okay, so I've been trying to get this to connect wirelessly for about an hour, and I've come to the following conclusion. The 5G on this box does not work. It will not connect. Every other device in this house connects to that same Netgear 49 5G network just perfectly. They're all working. This one will not connect. Double check, triple check, quadruple check the password. It's not the password. However, it does connect to 2.4 gig. So 5G is not working, but this is a 2.4. We can connect it. We can go to speed test and test it. Actually, I've already done that. This was my last test run. 66.5, upload 10.8. Now, on the other box that I normally use, I seem to recall this was about 250 megabits per second. And this is 66.5. Let's try it again. I just love this mouse pointer that keeps drifting off the target so that you can't hit what you're trying to hit. What a piece of junk. All right, she's creeping up there. Well, I definitely want 5G networking, so I am going to give this a fail on wireless 5G, wireless AC. It's a fail. We do have 2.4 gig, and that's a pass. That's average. So let's see. So far, clock that we can actually read. That's a fail. Remote with voice control. That's a fail. Ability to use an air mouse remote. This is a fail. This is absurd. So we don't have wireless AC. We don't have a visible clock. I also want to point out the resolution of this launcher. Take a look at the word Google on that tile. No, my God. Notice how difficult it is to read that. The contrasts here are so poor. Yet, someone thought that this was good. Someone actually put this together for sale at the factory, and they thought this was good. Just amazing. All right, so far we've only added one app, Speed Test. Let's try to add something else. So I'm going to go to Aptoid TV. There it goes. Pull it back. You know what this reminds me of? Certain shop vacs, like Craftsman brand shop vacs, have a very stiff hose that fights you every step of the way. And that is what I am encountering here. The remotes fight you every step of the way. Perfect. All right, we'll see if voice control works. I'm going to go to settings, search, come on, try that mic again. Pluto TV. See, voice control works. There it is. Install it. Now, in case you're wondering about this pointer drift to the right, that's actually described in the manual that comes with this remote, and there's a procedure that you're supposedly will eliminate this, but it doesn't work. And the fact that they even discuss this drift to the right in the manual, it says that they know about it. So here's what the manual says. Sensor calibration. When the device works, in other words, there may be times when the device doesn't work, the cursor may drift due to changes in voltage and temperature. Place the device on a flat desktop and keep it still. After the device turns into quiescent mode, wake it up again to complete calibration. Good luck with that. Doesn't work. Manual calibration. Press and hold the OK button and install the battery at the same time. After the green LED light turns from flashing to normally on, bear in mind there is no green LED light on this remote,
Place the product flat on the desktop and wait for the indicator to turn to flashing. Then complete the manual calibration. Does not work. The mouse pointer still drifts continuously from left to right.
This is absurd. Now you might be thinking, okay, well, let's connect by Bluetooth. Bluetooth will probably fix this. It doesn't. It will connect by Bluetooth. I've tried it. It does connect. But you still have this drifting mouse pointer. Same exact problem. And when connected by Bluetooth, voice control doesn't work. And that's described in the manual as well. And the manufacturer has the gall to say, it's not our product. That's just the way it is.
From the manual. Bluetooth 5 voice only supports Android TV. Bear in mind this box has Android TV OS version 13. Bluetooth 5 voice only supports some devices with Android TV voice function. Some models are not suitable for Bluetooth 5 voice, which is a normal phenomenon. It's not about our products.
No, this is not just the way it is. There are at least 4 more G20s in this house. They all work perfectly. I've probably set up dozens more boxes with G20s. They all work perfectly. It's this. Whoever made this should be ashamed of themselves. All right, let's open Pluto. Oh, I don't think that worked. Once again, I missed the target. Try again. Try it from here. Nope. Did it even go in? Yep, right there. Stream now, pay never. Not now. So it does work. I'm going to have to turn off the volume. I don't want to be accused of stealing someone else's content. It does work. You can install apps, so that's a good thing. Doesn't work very well, but so in this house we have Roku product, we have Fire Stick, Amazon Fire Stick product, we have MeCool TV boxes, we have various other brands for my original MXQ. There's a Tanix box here somewhere. We try all kinds of boxes that other people have. The boxes I've had the worst luck with are H96 Max and whatever this thing is. I just give up. My neighbor will never be satisfied with this box. I would never be satisfied with this box. So for me, no, it's not a deal. It's a dud. Others may disagree, and they're free to do so. So what do you think? Would you be happy with this?
Here's the report card. Now bear in mind that the malfunctioning G20 remote is a separate item, so unless they're the same, you can't blame the TV box manufacturer for that. Nevertheless, for me, it's a dud. Thanks for watching.